In a forgotten corner of Los Angeles rose the Hotel Cecil. This was not just a hotel but a reliquary of misfortunes and horrors where destinies intertwined in a dark and relentless dance. The walls of this once grand building now held macabre secrets, witnessing tragedies that left a permanent mark. The Cecil was more than an abandoned place. It was a graveyard of lost souls, their stories echoing through the corridors like frozen whispers. Each room resurrected the past, echoing the sorrows of lives cut short by brutal murders. Rooms that once witnessed laughter and joy were now stages of despair, where tormented souls found their tragic fate. This was a place where the veil between worlds unraveled, revealing the intersection of the real and the inexplicable. In 2023, Annie, a fearless young woman of medium stature, standing at about 1.65 meters with a commanding presence, decided to explore the abandoned hotel. Her dark hair, as nightfall, cascaded in soft waves to her shoulders, often captured in a nonchalant manner during her explorations. Her eyes were deep and expressive, an intense brown, capable of revealing both her tireless curiosity and the courage propelling her to face the unknown. A history student, she yearned to unravel the hidden secrets within the worn walls of the ancient building. Choosing to arrive at the hotel at night, Annie crossed the dilapidated gates of the Hotel Cecil and felt a shiver run down her spine. The once grand lobby was now just a faded remnant of a bygone era where the worn-out carpet whispered forgotten tales. With her flashlight cutting through the dense darkness, Annie found herself in a corridor that seemed to stretch into eternity. The explorer advanced fearlessly, guided by the insatiable desire to unveil the mysteries of the Cecil. As she delved into the abandoned rooms, the sensation of being watched became more intense. Her eyes scanned the empty rooms, each telling a story of despair and desolation. The distant echo of imaginary footsteps made her question if she was alone in those corridors or if the crumbling walls concealed indescribable presences. In front of a slightly ajar door, Annie hesitated. The room revealed itself as a time capsule with an empty bed covered in forgotten sheets. The atmosphere changed, and Annie, with heightened sensitivity, caught the distant sound of a whispering voice, murmuring indecipherable words. Annie's heart raced, not just from the discovery but also from the undeniable presence of something supernatural. It was as if the Cecil itself responded to Annie's intrusion, revealing secrets that awaited someone brave enough to unveil them. The hotel's past, now intertwined with Annie's present, unfolded like a nightmare she had barely begun to comprehend. A sense of panic overcame her as the footsteps turned into a silent sprint. Driven by primal instinct, Annie ran through the dark corridors, dodging furniture covered in sheets and shadows that seemed to want to grasp her. A spirit, a blurry silhouette of a human presence, materialized. Its eyes, glowing with an ethereal light, met Annie's, penetrating her soul with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. The figure floated gently in the air, dressed in attire reminiscent of a bygone era. The spirit's face displayed an expression of profound melancholy. An ethereal voice echoed through the corridors, murmuring words resonating with sadness and sorrow. The spirit tried to share with Annie the torments that kept it bound to the Hotel Cecil. Annie felt so frightened that she began to run through the dark corridors of the Hotel Cecil. The young explorer, enveloped in a survival instinct, began desperately searching for an exit from the dark spiral she found herself in. Amidst the escape, Annie, with her heart pounding uncontrollably, made the risky decision to climb the stairs that would take her to the 7th floor of the Hotel Cecil. Each step creaked under the weight of her urgency, and the darkness on the stairs seemed to close in around her, as if the building itself tried to prevent her from reaching its upper floors. All the doors on this floor were closed, revealing a scene of macabre isolation. The silence was deafening, only interrupted by the distant echo of Annie's own footsteps reverberating on the walls. Each doorknob seemed to hide a sinister narrative, and the air saturated with mystery heightened the feeling of claustrophobia. At the end of the corridor, a single open window, covered in dust, barely allowing the entry of a weakened nightlight. As Annie turned around, she had the disturbing presence of the spirit that showed a desire to end her life. Instinctively, Annie took steps backward, wanting to escape. And in this moment of extreme fear, Annie did not realize how close she was to the window. In a desperate attempt to hold onto the curtains, she plunged from the 7th floor. Annie's scream, muffled by the darkness, briefly echoed in the silent corridors of the Hotel Cecil before being subdued by the muffled sound of the fall. The 7th floor, once again, became the stage for another tragedy involving a young explorer who ventured where lost souls danced between the past and the present.